everyone. Thank you for joining me again. Today, I'm going to make a white chocolate Dulce de Leche pecan pound cake. So this is a new one for me. Let's get into the ingredients. Okay, so we have 3 cups of, I'm using all-purpose flour today. You can use cake if you like. Tablespoon of baking powder. I have a half teaspoon of salt. I have 2.5 cups of sugar. I'm going to use 5 eggs, room temperature. I have 1.5 cups of buttered flavor shortening already in my mixing bowl, and that's room temperature. I have 1 8-ounce package of room temperature cream cheese. That's in my mixing bowl with the butter already. I have 1 cup of chopped toasted pecans. I'm using a teaspoon of cream bouquet. I have 2 tablespoons of vanilla bean paste. I have 1 tablespoon of white chocolate extract. I have in my cup half a cup of room temperature buttermilk and half a cup of room temperature heavy whipping cream. And I have 1 cup of dulce de leche. So let's get started. All right, now since we've gone over our ingredients, you will need a whisk or fork, a spatula, some Baker's Joy. If you don't use Baker's Joy, you can coat your bundt pan with butter and then sprinkle flour along the outside of it and the inside of it. Dump out any extra flour and keep your cake from sticking. That's why I have a sifter. So I'm going to start off by combining my dry ingredients. So there's my flour. I'm going to throw my baking powder in here with it. I'm going to just sift the 2 of these through the strainer. So you can get out any lumps. Now I'm going to add my salt in. I'm just going to give this a whisk to try to mix it up pretty good before we add it into the mixer. Also, I'm going to take a spoonful of my flour mixture to coat my pecans. So that way, if you coat them in flour, they shouldn't all sink to the bottom of your cake. You want pecans all throughout the cake, not just at the bottom. A little bit more to make sure they're all coated. I'm going to start creaming my butter flavor shortening, and of course you can use butter. My butter was frozen, and my cream cheese, and I'm going to get them creaming for just about a minute together, and add our sugar. Okay, this is how my butter and cream cheese look now after just about a minute of blending them. So I'm going to scrape my bowl down. I'm going to put it back on my mixing stand. You can use a hand mixer if you like. Scrape the bowl down. Try to get all the way down there. I'm also going to try to get some of this off the paddle. And you can see that the shortening and sugar is much fluffier. Okay, so I'm going to give this another mix again for another 3 minutes. Give this another mix for about another 3 minutes. So they're fully incorporated. I've added 3 of my eggs in. I am going to pour my dulce de leche in. This is actually some that I had left over from a birthday cake that I made for my daughter. It was a chocolate mocha dulce de leche cake. I'm going to add my white chocolate extract, my creme bouquet, and my vanilla bean paste, all in my buttermilk whipping cream combo. And I'm just gonna give this just a little whisk. Okay, first I'm gonna dry mixture. Gonna blend it, scrape it. So I'm gonna go dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. Okay, and make sure you don't do what I just did. Now, what I should have did the first time was turn it on low and let it start mixing. And then turn it up. Okay, here's the last of the flour. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my pecans. Okay, that should be good. And let's get it in our greased bundt pan. So I'm really excited to try this cake because this is my first time ever using my white chocolate extract. I don't know if you guys can see this pan and how old it looks because, well, it is kind of old. This was my mother's bundt pan. And she always used this when she baked cakes when I was little. And I used to always complain because no matter what kind of cake she made, she'd always put it in a bundt pan. Like, she never did a layer cake. And so I'd always be like, why do you have to use a bundt pan every time? Why do you always have to use a bundt pan? Then when I started baking on my own, really baking on my own, I started using her pan. And I said I was going to get another one, which I did, because this one is so old. But when I got ready to dump it, I just kept thinking about how she always made cakes in this when I was little, and how I was always complaining about everything is in a bundt pan. And then I didn't want to give it up, so I pull it out every once in a while, because it was my mom's. And she's actually the reason that she would bake with me a little bit when I was a kid. We would bake brownies and chocolate chip cookies from scratch. But whenever I would make a cake, it would be a box cake. I never thought to make a cake from scratch. Until one day she said, make me a pound cake. I bet you can make me one. And it started from there. I'm gonna drop it. Slightly slam it on the table to get any air bubbles out. Color. And you see the nuts all inside. I think it looks pretty. I'm gonna put this in my preheated 375 degree oven. I'm gonna let my cake bake for an hour. I'm going to come back and check on it. Okay guys, I decided to put this on a cooking sheet, just in case it might overflow. I'll see you back in an hour. So as you can see guys, my cake is out of the oven. It's not pretty. First of all, my pan was too small. So thank goodness I put my cookie sheet underneath, because that's a mess. Secondly, it's really brown too much on the edges to me. It took a lot longer for this middle and here to get done. Despite how it looks, I'm going to let this cool, try to flip it after it cools a little bit. Okay guys, you can see that my cake did not come out the best. So I've let it completely cool in the pan to see if I can flip it out. And then I guess see if it's salvageable. Okay, felt it release. For my glaze, I used 8 tablespoons of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. To that, I added some almond milk, just a little bit at a time, until I had a very watery, runny glaze. I poured that on top of my cake and then topped that off with drizzles of Dulce de Leche and drizzles of chocolate ganache. So alright guys, you see sometimes snafus happen to the best of us. What else should I say? I don't know, just it's still good or something. It's still good. Alright, thank you for joining me guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see you later and come back soon because I got the recipe for you. Bye! So guys, I wanted to mention that in the future when I make this cake, I'll make a couple of changes. The cake was a little sweet to me, so next time I will cut the sugar back to 2 cups instead of 2.5 cups. And also next time I will use 2 teaspoons of white chocolate extract instead of 1 tablespoon. So if you guys try out this cake, please let me know if you like it, what you think, what you might change or not change. And again, thank you for watching. I got the recipe for you. Bye.